Hey guys, it's been the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a box of PCGS to show you. And first, I want to say thank you for your support. You know, because of your support, videos like this are able to be made for everyone to learn from and enjoy. For those of you who don't know, we do have membership levels if you want to join and support that way. There is some levels that even have some behind the scenes footage and stuff like that that we just talk about some stuff together once a week. And if not, by the way, you can always just support us by sharing, subscribing, and commenting, because all of those help out the algorithm. So on this video here today, we've got a bunch of coins that I sent into PCGS on their economy service. And by the way, this was a long time coming. You know, we are in the current world of 3-month plus wait times on economy service, and it was good to have them back. It's almost like a surprise. I forgot what was in the box. And this is a coin that we picked out from a holder, 1969, San Francisco Mint. And on these guys, sometimes they come really flat. And this has a really nice cameo look to it, that black and white contrast, super strong. And what's fun, one of the things I want you to pay attention to on this particular video is most of the coins that we've picked out here are not expensive, but most of them also are the type of things that you can kind of cherry pick and you can find on your own sometimes. Proof 69 Deep Cameo. This is really kind of a fun coin. The prices I'm going to mention from this, just to be consistent, are going to be the PCGS price guide. The price guide is not precise. There are things in that price guide that we sell stuff on eBay for, and they go for more than the price listed in the PCGS price guide. And there are other things that we sell where they come back down and they sell for a little bit less than PCGS price guide. So it's kind of it's imperfect, but I just want to have consistency with the numbers I'm giving to you. So of course, on a coin like this, you can only go one grade higher, right? Here's the fun part. So this coin, there's 759 in the pop report with only one graded higher. That's right. PCGS has the audacity to grade one of these as 70 and nobody else. Nobody else. It just kind of makes you wonder sometimes, right? So PCGS has called this, let me see, this coin, their price guide's $185. Really what's great about this coin, of course, not only is the overall surface quality really perfect, but that deep cameo is great also. By the way, their price guide for the one coin is $17,000, and I have no idea what it would actually sell for if you got a 70. It's hard to imagine. Hard to imagine. Well, I hope there are some nickel lovers in the crowd, because actually that's what we're doing today. Most of what I have here is going to be Jefferson nickels. And like I was saying before about the price points, a lot of these coins aren't the type of things that necessarily we would send in, but we want to be able to explore these mid-century coins. I know a lot of you have some of these in your collection by happenstance, you know, multi-generational family collectors, stuff like that, and you end up with some Jefferson nickels that maybe you didn't collect, but this is from the 40s, and this is actually the proof from the 40s, which is a cool coin. You know, most of these had pretty low mintages, and on this one here, they called this a proof 66. And overall, it's a really nice looking coin. The price guide lists it at $130. Now the next grade up, a 67, is $300, so it's still not a huge spread. There's almost 800 of these graded, with about 200 graded one grade higher. But it's pretty challenging, one, to collect these, and two, to get them in nice grades. You know, Jefferson nickels in general in proof condition oftentimes come, I always say, unattractive. They don't have that flash and luster that the silver coins would have. So it can be pretty difficult to get. You know, this one has a touch of tone and a touch of haze to it all at the same time. Some people would have dipped that coin or made some type of modification. We just kind of kept it original. And overall, it's a real pleasing coin. You know, some of these coins in here, you're going to find coins that you could really probably pick up for a lot less than than what they're going to be worth after they're certified. And what I mean by that is we're going to look at coins in here that you could probably buy raw pretty cheap and then spend the 20 to 30 bucks to get them certified and actually come out okay. We're also going to see some coins that really didn't work out that well. So don't worry. Don't worry, we'll find some coins in here that didn't work out. So this is a 1942 Type 1. So 42 is one of my favorite years for nickels because they made two types. They made the traditional type and then they made the silver type. So this is considered the Type 1. They call this a Proof 63. So let's dive into a little bit why this is a Proof 63 and this is a Proof 66. When you have two coins that at first blush look really pretty similar, and I'm not sure that they're exactly 3 points apart, but I will say one of the things when you talk about on these proofs is that overall surface quality. And I will say that this coin appears to have been dipped. And the reason I say that is because, you know, it has the way that it has the haze still in the recessed areas, but then the central surface areas do not have the haze. It just looks like it's been dipped. Now that's not going to cause necessarily any type of a grade issue. And once again, to the naked eye, this coin looks every bit as nice as the 66. But really, when you start to pick apart little surface inequalities to it, little surface blemishes like between the E and the L and LO, there it is. I mean, that little dark spot there, a little bit of schmutz. We've got some more spots here under his chin and between his nose and the W, E, and we. You know, the proofs they're just really tough on. Really tough on. Now, I might have called it maybe a grade higher than that, maybe a 4, but it's not as nice as this coin. I don't know that they're 3 points apart. You know, that's a coin that, you know, the price guide's only $45 on it. You know, that's a coin where the mintage is, I think about 29,000. Was that what it is? 29,600. Now, this is the Type 2 that we're looking at now. One of my favorite coins. This is because this is the only year that they made the silver proof. And these they made 27,600 of these coins. And of course, the difference between the Type 1 and the Type 2, of course, one is silver and one is not. But also, you see the mint mark there, the big P over Monticello. And if we look at the overall surface quality on this guy here, a little bit different. Now, all of a sudden, you switched metals. When you go from nickel to silver, you actually end up having very different qualities. Surface qualities, strike qualities, eye appeal, and that's another thing. Like the eye appeal on these silver ones tends to be a little bit nicer than the other ones are. So this guy, Proof 64, kind of a comparable coin. I think to the other one, I think it's just a hair nicer. There's not really a big spread. It doesn't matter a whole lot. You know, they list this for $110. You know, Proof 65 is probably 20 bucks more or something like that. Not a big difference. These are, you know, average grade. They start at about 100 bucks anyways. Such a fun coin to me. If you're doing a 20th century type, it's kind of a coin that's fun to get into your set. And of course, Jefferson nickels are really very difficult to get a collection of in high grade slab when you start looking at the coins from the 40s and 50s. It just becomes really, really difficult. So now you get into this 1953, and here's another one where there's not really a rare coin per se. They've made 128,000 of them. Of course, by today's Silver Eagle standards, it would probably be, you know, a $300 coin. But you know, one of the things that I want to point out with these coins, you know, talk about collecting, just where the scarcity is and rarity is, and you know, comparing it to modern coins. Now, you can't. This is like comparing sports across generations. Like, who's the greatest? Well, you got to look at their generation. The popularity, of course, is different between these coins and Silver Eagles. But when you look at overall scarcity, it just kind of starts to give you an idea of, you know, looking at collecting a little different, or looking at a series a little differently than you would have otherwise. This one they're calling a Proof 66. Also hoping to get that touch of cameo on here, but didn't get it. It's not quite cameo, but you got just a slight cameo effect to it. You know, this lists for about 40 bucks. Not super scarce coin, but once again, you know, the $20+ to get it certified, probably not worth it on this one exactly, but still it's something that's good to look at and see kind of how they're grading those. All right, so this 38D, now this was a stunning coin. So 1938 is the first year of the Jefferson nickels. Now this year they were still making Buffalo nickels, and then they came out with these. And this guy here has just a tremendous overall look to it. Sometimes when you're talking about higher grade coins and kind of making that next grade up, they just tend to have something where the coin just looks different. You know, you get so used to looking at them, and then you see one, and you might not know as a novice, or even as someone who's collected a long time, when you look at it at first, you might not be able to put your finger on why that coin looks different or what's different about it. But a lot of times, it's just a higher grade. And once it's that higher grade, it kind of catches your eye. You're like, wow, that coin, what's going on there? You know, it's not what's going on there, it's what's not going on there. It's not all full of contact marks. MS67, now this coin is pretty fascinating because, you know, it bids, the PCGS price guide is $85 on this. And there's only 40 coins graded higher, you know, which is kind of fun. So when you start talking about, once again, looking at pop reports a little bit and understanding scarcity of market, only 40 people can have a coin graded nicer than this by PCGS standards. You know, and the next grade up, and a plus holder, did I do this right? Oh, okay, so this is what I wanted to explain. So of those 40 coins, 35 of them are 67 pluses, only 5 coins are 68s. So 5 people can own an MS68 if they want to. The rest of you can fight for these. And so that it lists only for $85 is really fascinating. 67 pluses, I don't think I have the price guide here exactly on that. I should have wrote that one down for you. Next up, this 1940S, once again with just a real nice luster to it. Now, in a lot of these, what you end up running into with your Jefferson nickels is trying to get what they call the full steps. And that is all those steps above the lettering at the base of the building of Monticello. You want all of them to be strong all the way across to get a high grade and the full steps. Some of these coins are really hard to get with full steps. This one they called an MS66 full steps. PCGS price guide has it at $125. The next grade up, by the way, is 700 bones, so it's got a huge jump from one grade to the next. And if it was not full steps, it would only list for 30 bucks. So this is a coin that, you know, the steps on it is really tough to get and really adds value in the marketplace. Got a few more here to get through. 1943. Now we're moving into the silver, and this is something that this 43 from Philly. Now I can tell you right away on this one that it wasn't as high of a grade as the other coin was. You've got a few contact marks there kind of on the cheek. The fields are still fairly open, fairly clean. They call this an MS65. Now this coin specifically, you know, it only lists for like 25 bucks. This is a coin that I was really trying to get the full steps on, and that's, I think, where you see the bigger jump. They also jump by grade. I mean, a 60, well, no. The steps is what I was looking for. And I'm a little disappointed because I thought that the steps on here were full. I mean, when I was looking at this coin, it's the reason I sent it in was to try to get the full steps on it because those steps are really solid. But we'll let bygones be bygones forever and move on to another coin that's really pretty popular, that 1950 from Denver. Of course, for those of you who have collected nickels a little bit, this is always that one coin that was more expensive. You know, it was the one coin when I was coming into the hobby, I was like, why is this nickel from 1950 $12 when everything else is a quarter or 50 cents or whatever? This is another one that has kind of a tougher coin to get with full steps. This one they called an MS66 with full steps. And this lists for about 100 bucks. On this coin without the full steps, it's only listed for about $45 in the same grade. And once again, we're going to look at those steps and see kind of what we're looking for to get all those steps all the way across Monticello. Once again, confirming my biases of the coin that I own, this one, that should have full steps on it. Confirmation bias. It's a beautiful thing. All right, 1943. You got 2 more here to go through. This one, another one that we were looking at to get full steps on. And let's see, the steps on here are really solid. We'll see if they came to play, if they called it what we wanted it to on this coin. Also really lustrous. Also, some of those silver coins get those easier to get those contact marks on. The fields are fantastic on here, but then his cheek and chin have a couple of hits to it. MS65 full step. This is another one that really we were hoping to get a 66 out of, because a 66 is about a $100 coin. This is about a $30 to $35 coin. Now, once again, you can pick up raw nickels, silver nickels from guys for anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks on a lot of them. So it still is the type of coin that you can pick up and get certified and, you know, either break even or make money on if you get a good grade on it. And last but not least, a coin that had all the eye appeal in the world. This 1945 from San Francisco. One of these days I'll learn how to say that. I sent in because it just has the look. It didn't have the full steps to it. You can see as we look closer at this one, the difference between this and those other coins, where you start to see the flatness in the center of the, see those steps just disappear. That's not a shadow, that's the steps actually just disappearing in the middle of the coin. But it had such great luster and eye appeal and color to it. I really like it when they get that little bit of iridescence to it. MS66 Plus, PCGS like this coin. There's a 106 in this grade. There's less than 300 graded higher. You know, a 67 listed at 135. The 66 Plus listed at 80 bucks. So all in all, that's a pretty good day. And a lot of these came back nice grades. We were very careful on these to try to pick coins that were higher quality. So we weren't just willy-nilly sending stuff in. So let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for watching. I've been the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.